Hi and welcome back. It's the 8th of May 2020. I was sitting here doing some work on my laptop and suddenly realised that there was some red news events coming up. It was the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. I'll show you what they were in a minute. And I just thought I'd have a little look in, see if there was any trades to be had. Now this is how easy it is to trade red news or any of the trading that we do at the Price Action Traders Institute. It's just a case of opening our charts up, and within seconds we're ready to trade. We can look at our trade plan if we're trading just normal sessions, or red news, it's instant. We can open up and instantly we're ready to trade. So let's get over to the charts and I'll show you exactly what I did and how I did it. So here are the red news events that I was looking at. The Canadian dollar, there was two events there. It was the employment change and unemployment rate, and the US dollar, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change and unemployment rate. So can be big movers on those. So that's what I was looking at when I opened up the charts. So there's about a minute and 43 seconds approximately before the red news event, and all I'm doing now is flicking through the charts, getting the charts that are linked with the red news events ready, just making some slight little adjustments so I can see whatever price action happens. If it takes off big time, then I'll shrink these charts down a little bit to give them a bit of room to see the move on the actual chart itself without it coming off the edge of the chart. And so it's just the US dollar pairs, Canadian dollar pairs that I'm looking at going into the news. And what we've got left, we've got about a minute left. Okay, what I'll do, I'll pause the video for now and I'll be back with you just before the red news event kicks in. So just flicking through these charts, 15 seconds left. What I've been doing is just running through all the pairs just to see what each individual currency is doing at the moment, to build a bigger picture. It's all about the bigger picture really, and that's what I'm contemplating when I take a trade on these red news events. So here we go, new candle open, the red news events kicked in. I'm not actually considering taking a trade right at this moment. I'm watching the spreads. I want the spreads to normalise before I even consider taking a trade. So just flicking through the pairs now. Spreads are still a little high, starting to come down. Okay, we're getting ready now. So what I'm noticing across the board, I'm seeing Japanese yen strength. It doesn't look like the US dollar, as I flick through these pairs, doesn't look like the US dollar's doing the move. As you can see there, there's not a lot happening there, or there, or there. But we're seeing strength in the Canadian dollar, and we're also seeing weakness in the Japanese yen. So I'll be looking at getting in on some pairs with Japanese yen crosses. Let's see. Okay, in on the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, taken that at, what was that? Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, 43. Stop loss in place, 12 pip stop loss immediately. That's essential you get the stop loss in case it swings back down. And I'll move my take profit up to the 80 level there, just in case that does take off quick, and at least I'm ready for it. No, I'm going to push it a bit further maybe. Optimistic, seeing if that pushes up there. So I've got it up at the 80, the take profit. US dollar, Japanese yen, that's moving nicely. Taken that, got in that one at 55. And again, stop loss in place at 10. And that move there again, looking at the US dollar, doesn't seem to be doing a great deal. This seems more about the Japanese yen weakness. So it doesn't seem that the news events affected the US dollar, but the fact is I can actually take these trades because we're on a red news event. And see if there's anything else to take. Just flicking through, and again, still building a bigger picture across the board, looking at all of these pairs just to see if I can build a picture as to what each individual currency is doing, and then from that I can make my decisions as to which pairs I'll get in. Okay, I'll pause for a minute. I'll pause this for a little while and see if we get any more movements or anything else to show you on this. Okay, back with you and looking at these pound pairs now. seeing the pound starting to drop. Now, although the US dollar is not really the driving factor, I've decided to take this pound US dollar. There's two options there. I've got in on criteria. Price has come through one of our entry points, never mind the news. So even if the news event wasn't taking place at the moment, plus the fact if I didn't get in right exactly on that criteria where I have, I could have taken this anyway because it's a red news event on the US dollar. So I've taken the pound US dollar short and I've got in that at 69. So that's it. 3 pairs I'm holding right now. Pound US dollar, the US dollar Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. Let's see what happens with these. Okay, looks like that Japanese yen is holding those other 2 pairs quite steady. New candle open now. You can see we're out of the news event and all 3 trades that I've taken are still in positions where I can stick with them. There's certain criteria that if we see a certain move then we need to punch out of them, but I can stick with all 3 of these at the moment. And starting to see that pound pulling back now. Okay, there's nothing really happening on the US dollar across the board. That pound US dollar, I'm tempted to punch out of that because it's not really doing a great deal, and I think I will. Okay, out of the pound US dollar for -2 pips. I'm currently down 2 pips. Let's take a look at the other 2 pairs, see what they're doing. They're holding their own. It's quite nice, and that's, like I say, down to the Japanese yen weakness that's coming in across the board. Okay, I'll pause the video for now and I'll be back with you in a little while. So we've got another candle open now, and just looking at these pairs, seeing what they're doing, seeing if that Japanese yen weakness is still in play, which it looks like it is. Thing is with this, like I say, I was working on other things and I hadn't intended on trading. I don't want to make this a long drawn out session, so I'm almost tempted, maybe on a little spike or a little bit more of a move, I might even punch out of these 2 just to finish off quickly. I can get back to what I was doing before I was distracted by the red news event, and I can pull a few pips from the market. It looks like I'm going to have a bit of profit. That pound's starting to push up now on that pound Japanese yen. It's got both sides there. It's got the pound strength and the Japanese yen weakness on that. So I'll pause the video for now and I'll be back with you in a little while. So back with you, and I've punched out of those other 2 pairs. So just a quick summary here. You can see where I've got in on the pound US dollar. Punched out of that because price was pulling back a little bit, and came away with -2 pips on the pound US dollar. So the Canadian dollar Japanese yen, you can see where I got in there at what was that? That was at 43, and you can see where I punched out as that price spiked up. That's what I was looking for. Like I said, I didn't want this to drag out. I just thought I'd get in and get out and see if I could pull some pips from that news event, which is what I managed to do. So you can see the entry point and the exit point there on the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. And the US dollar Japanese yen, got in this at 55 as that price started to ramp up on this, and got out of that. You can see again as that price started to move up a little bit. Didn't quite catch the high of that spike, but that's okay. I've done okay on this as well. You can see the exit point there. So over to the summary sheet, you can see there's that pound US dollar -2 pips, and the other 2 trades that I punched out of, US dollar Japanese yen +15 pips, Canadian dollar Japanese yen +10 pips, giving me a net total of 23 pips, which isn't bad considering I wasn't planning on trading. No planning, no time analysing anything. I just knew there was a red news event, opened the charts, traded, and was out in a few minutes, and ended up with 23 pips. Not a bad little profit. It's been a good week this week, so I'll be posting everything on Twitter a little later today, and of course the results will be going. I'll be updating the results on the website. Please remember to hit subscribe, and if you hit the bell once you've subscribed, you'll get the notifications as and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to find out more about the way that we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, all the details you'll find just below this video in the description box. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another one for you.